Hello everyone, and welcome back to the rated Yu-Gi-Oh series, and today we will be using my Elemental Hero deck. It is a deck I made back when I first started playing Dueling Network, and I've tweaked it a little bit. I don't remember where I got it. It was net decked because I didn't know what I was doing when I started this Dueling Network. But I changed it around enough, it probably wouldn't matter anyways. But we will be doing two duels, I believe. Two duels, against Troll Bros and I believe someone named Avery12. And this deck is based off of fusions. As you can see, I have a near full extra deck full of fusions. This whole deck is about setting up your elemental heroes to get your big fusion cards and fuck people up. And I do that in both of these duels. First game is another short one, like last episode, about 5 minutes, and they ended up quitting out because I was winning too much, I guess, I don't know. But this deck is based off of getting Stratos, who's really helpful, Woodsman is really helpful, I don't know who else, off the top of my head. We'll see as the game continues. It's kind of based off the elements. Since Stratos is wind, I'm going with Great Tornado. Sometime or another. I don't know why I didn't summon him first turn. Probably because I didn't want him to know what I was doing. But I put one of my elemental hero Wild Hearts in defense, and I'm going to summon Great Tornado next turn, I believe. He's going to Mystical Space Typhoon, the Hero Blast, I believe. Oh, no. Oh, he screws up, and he, takes back all his cards, and then fixes around how he wants to set them. I don't know. He was goofy. But, this deck is based around getting out the big elemental heroes and using their effects to stomp the opponent. Because a lot of them have effects related to weakening the other opponent's monsters to smash them for extra damage compared to what it would usually be. Here I actually get, I believe, two big monsters, or at least one, maybe two. Mask Change is really good, because there's 4 masked heroes I use. Vapor, Acid, Goka, and Deanne. Something like that. And Mask Change, basically, you have one face-up hero monster, you send it to the grave, and you get to special summon a hero monster of a masked hero of the same attribute. So since Wild Heart is Earth, I get to special summon Deanne from my fusions, and then I can also use Polymerization, which I don't know if I use it or not. I don't know. But, anyways, I have him, and he has, I don't remember what his effect is, but Great Tornado's effect is when it is special summoned, it halves the attack of all face-up enemy monsters. Right here he gets confusing because he asks about my effect, but my effect only works when I destroy an enemy monster card. I believe I get to put a level 4 or lower hero monster from my deck to my hand, but I didn't destroy a monster, so I don't know what he was thinking. So he just ends up using Mirror Force and ruining my day. But probably some of the best combinations are using... what's it called? I don't remember the name of the fusion monster. I'm still getting used to this deck because I haven't used it in so long. The Wind Great Tornado, because you get to have their attack and defense of all face-up monsters. One of the Vision heroes, I don't remember his exact name. The red one on the far side, he gets to attack 3 times, and he has 2500 attack. He can't attack directly, but he's good for taking out multiple monsters, so the rest of your monsters can hit for direct damage. And he takes 3 hero monsters in general. And this duel I don't really show much other than special summoning monsters, or a couple of them. The next duel is a lot more educational, I guess. I don't know. I get to summon a lot more fusions, and I get to show you a little bit more about the strategy behind the deck, because my hand gave me one of the best setups in the game, in my opinion, or at least for this deck. And now I have Great Tornado at 2800 attack, and I believe I get to hit him. And then I summon... Oh no, this is right before he quits, because I think he summons a monster, and then I use the Elemental Hero, Neos, Alias, and attack it, and then he just leaves. And then I got a wonderful private message saying that Elemental Heroes are newbie and one of the most OP decks in the game, which is very, very untrue, seeing as though it took me a while after this to get another good duel. And it's all in which heroes you use in specific situations, which is probably the hardest thing to learn about this deck. And that's not even that hard to do. It's all about figuring out what elemental heroes you need in specific situations and getting the cards you need when you get them, which is basically any deck. But there's a lot of deck searching in this deck. That was redundant. There's a lot of deck searching you can do, and just being able to figure out what cards you need at the right time is basically what this boils down to, because depending on which monsters you get from your deck depends on what you can special summon or fusion summon, excuse me, and that kind of gets you the win. And in this, like I said, in this deck, or in this duel, excuse me, I get probably one of the best setups in the game, and that would be Elemental Hero Woodsman and Safe Zone, because Safe Zone makes it where you can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. And right here I'm just making sure I read the card right so I can use it on Woodsman. And Woodsman's effect, which is absolutely amazing, is that every standby phase you get a polymerization from your deck or graveyard. So basically what you can do is place him in phase up attack and safe zone him. So every turn you get a polymerization. And I personally get the 3 from the deck, and then I just keep reusing them from the graveyard over and over every turn. And if you keep getting monsters or finding ways to get monsters, you basically have every fusion monster in your deck at your disposal. Because unlike older fusion heroes that required specific monsters like Sparkman and Clayman or Burstinatrix and Avian or a specific set, it's a single elemental hero and a single something of a specific attribute, or it might be a hero of a specific attribute. Yeah, it's just one water monster, one hero, so you don't even need all heroes. You just need a hero and then a water attributed monster, or cards like Adoration or whatever that is. I'm blind and it's the screen small. Takes just 2 heroes, and it can be basically any 2 heroes you want. So I could use Bubbleman and Sparkman and make a 2800 Dark Monster who has one of the best attributes in that deck. Adoration makes it where you can take one face-up monster the enemy has, have their attack, and give it to one of your other monsters. And that came in real handy when I was playing against a Blue Eyes deck, where I don't have anything with 3000 attack, but when I cut its attack down to 1500 and gave that 1500 to one of my monsters, it worked just fine. And right here he makes a mistake, which helped, I guess, a bit. It doesn't say that they can't attack me, it just says they can't kill me. So right here he could have hit me for a quick 1000, but I guess he didn't really notice what Safe Zone did. And that was a mistake I had made when I initially played the combo. So if they do hit you, that's a problem. but taking a couple hundred damage is definitely worth the unlimited supply of polymerization. And this guy was running a really goofy deck. He called it his Chuck Norris deck. It had, I don't even know what, some goofy mix of Exodia and Alexandrite Dragon. I don't even know. I think he was just trying to stall out till he got his. I don't even know. But after this, it's just a spam fest of elemental heroes, and if you get enough of them early on like this, their effects don't even really matter, because all of them have to do with face-up monsters. Well, he didn't really have any face-up monsters after this Alexandrite Dragon. Element or Vision Hero Trinity. He is one of the best monsters in your deck. He is very useful if you are in a tight spot, because he has 2500 attack and I believe 2500 defense, and the turn he is fusion summoned, he has 5000 attack, and he can hit 3 times, and he can hit hard. Only downside is he cannot attack directly. And right here, I'm glad I have my Paradox Fusion, or else my Trinity would have been dead already. Because I attack the Alexandrite Dragon, and I would have done 3000 damage, but I believe he has a Mirror Force waiting for me. So I use the Paradox Fusion, and Paradox Fusion will save your fusion monsters. You play it, or activate it, you banish one of your fusion monsters, as such, and it negates the effect, and I believe in 2 turns, 2 standby phases, just kind of like Gold Sarcophagus. In 2 standby phases, I get him back. So now that I have him on the back burner, and have one elemental hero in my hand, I can get a second polymerization from my deck, and hopefully draw another monster to summon another one. And I believe I do. And right there he asks about dealing damage. Well, since Mirror Force says when a monster declares an attack, activate this. Attack never goes through because I banished him before he could attack. And right there he tries to cheap his way out of getting Exodia quicker, which people actually do a lot. They'll use Gold Sarcophagus, and then the very next turn they will put whatever card it is in their hand. That's just douchey. And right here he gets his second piece of Exodia, but I still beat him before that can be completed. I actually don't think this guy stayed through the whole game either, because I was absolutely stomping him by the end of it. I have like 3 elemental heroes, or 3 of my fusion elemental heroes out. I have Absolute Zero, Trinity, and one other one. So I was hitting for a lot by the end of it, every turn. And I'll get Stratos eventually, and he wiped out that back row. That's what he did, because Stratos' effect is one that is quite amazing, and it's the reason you can only have one in the deck. It's a card that if you ever make an elemental hero deck, he is a necessity. His effect is, he actually has a 2-part effect, or you can pick one or the other, is you can either take a hero from your deck and put it in your hand, or you can destroy spell and traps equal to the number of heroes you have on the field, excluding him. And when I do it, he has 3 on the field, just like he does there. And I believe that I destroy the 3 excluding Dark or Gold Sarcophagus. I don't know, I keep trying to call it Gold or Dark Sarcophagus. Getting my words mixed up. But I destroyed the other 3, and they weren't really of much use. The one was giving him 500 life points every time he drew. The other one let him shuffle some time or another. I don't remember. And then the other one had to do with if he has over 9,000 life points, he can draw 2 cards or some shit. I don't know. It was awful. But here I flipped my Woodsman back into attack since it only had 100 defense. So that way my Absolute Zero, which is a great card, can hit him for 2,500. It is a hero and a water monster, and he gains attack 500 attack for each face-up water monster on the field. So if you run a water deck, he is a really, really good addition, even if it's not an elemental or hero deck in general. He's a good part of any water deck. And I believe that when he leaves the field, you destroy all your opponent's monsters. So if he gets wiped out, you also have kind of like a pocket dark hole for their side of the field, which can save your ass 2 times over. This is the card trader card. And right here, he plays a stupid ass move, and I was just waiting for it. As you can see me typing in the chat before he's even done anything. And I'm just waiting because he played a card in his draw phase when you can't really do that. Which people don't understand it. The main phases are there for a reason. You can't just do everything in your draw phase. It's sad. People are stupid when they come to Yu-Gi-Oh! They try and cut corners like that. Which, who knows, that could have been the 3rd piece of Exodia, and then I don't know where I would go from there, because I think it's in like 2 turns I make him quit. Because no one can take a loss in this game to save their life, and it's just stupid that every time something doesn't go their way, they have to quit. Which I understand quitting in certain situations, because everyone gets angry with the game when it doesn't go their way. But every single game, if you just lose fair and square, like I beat this guy fair and square, you shouldn't leave. I mean, I guess admitting defeat doesn't do much other than give you extra XP, but I don't see why them quitting should jip me out of XP. And here I get Stratos. I get my next polymerization. I don't even think I need it, because right here I get the polymerization, and then I summon Stratos. Or actually I get Trinity back first because it's been 2 turns, because you can never underestimate Paradox Fusion. And I get him back, so then I can summon Stratos, get rid of all of his spell and trap, and the stomping begins. I meant to go to attack. Oh well. I don't know why he'd go into attack when I've got Trinity out there. I don't know. But there I play, get Trinity back in, and I'm assuming a lot of people would be confused by this next move if you haven't been paying attention to what I've been saying, because I ramble. But I'm going to attack the face down with Trinity, because it cannot attack directly. It can only attack 3 turns, or it can attack 3 times, but never directly. So I'm going to use the 2,500 hit point monster to attack the face down, so that way I can hit him for 28, 48, 5,300. And I think right after this, he quits, because this is about the best setup you can get right here, because I've got 2 of my best fusions. I've got Woodsman and Stratos, and it's just not fun for him. Then he draws, and I was going to tell him that he could get his Exodia arm, and I get about halfway through the sentence, and gone. But I hope that this helped you if you ever need or want to make an elemental hero deck. I will try and find a build on somewhere and put that in the description if you want. But like I said, this has been toyed around with a bit, so I don't know if you'd find this exact build or, you know, something close to it. But I will put something in the description if you guys want to make one or find one to make a base out of. because Elemental Hero decks are fun and they're nostalgic from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and they're a wonderful time. But I'm going way past what the deck or the duels were. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in future videos. Alright, I'll see you there. Thanks.